A new challenger that happens to say that congressional leaders were paralyzed and unprepared for the second Trump presidency. So we're talking about Choi Chakrabarty, recently announced his candidacy, determined to unseat Nancy Pelosi. Kenny Choi takes a closer look at the inner workings of his campaign launch and why the self-made tech centimillionaire is entering the race.
Choi Chakrabarty is gunning for Nancy Pelosi's congressional seat.
It's an instinct. I think we're in a moment where it could happen. How about Grace? I'll go to you next.
In the early stages of his campaign, instead of door-knocking first, a concerted effort to host online meetings.
I feel the Democratic Party is basically broken.
With a handful of voters who sign up on his website to join and ask questions.
I'm going to find every way I can to talk to everybody that I possibly can in San Francisco and get my message to them directly.
In 2018, the former software engineer who left Wall Street and Silicon Valley success spearheaded a political action committee to bring new voices to Washington.
Both parties have been ignoring kind of the biggest problems facing most people.
That includes cost of living and economic opportunities. He recruited and guided Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to unseat longtime incumbent and high-ranking Democratic Congressman Joe Crowley of New York.
If that could happen then in that lower change environment, what could happen right now?
Chakrabarty says Pelosi and Democratic leaders were paralyzed and unprepared to take on Trump and Elon Musk. He says a transformation of the party begins with her seat.
I've got a lot of respect for a lot of what Nancy Pelosi's accomplished in her time in Congress. But I just think we're in a different era now.
David McEwen is a political science professor at Sonoma State University.
The progressives have always been disappointed in Nancy Pelosi. They'll continue to be disappointed with Nancy Pelosi. But the progressive left senses an opportunity to push the moment of generational change.
Change that McEwen says leaves the future uncertain for Democrats.
There is this moment and this attempt to move the party to the left when there's a lot of people, a lot of polling, a lot of data, a lot of analysts looking at this and saying, what was the message for Democrats out of November? And that question has not been resolved.
Chakrabarty believes Pelosi, who has served in Congress for 37 years, is out of touch.
I'm not sure she realizes the level to which the average person or, even most people in this country and in San Francisco are really feeling the squeeze of just how expensive these big essential have gotten.
We reached out to Pelosi's office, but did not get a response seeking comment.
To really rebuild this party, we needed whole new generation of leaders who are committed to this kind of a vision of really going out there and first admitting that there's a problem, which I think the party often doesn't admit at all.
For now, it starts with convincing one voter at a time, hoping that leads to a massive grassroots movement.
Chakrabarty plans to fund part of his campaign with his own money. He currently runs a policy think tank that develops comprehensive solutions to the problems that both America and San Francisco face. He's the son of immigrants who attended public schools in Texas and then graduated from Harvard University. He then catapulted onto the political stage, working for Bernie Sanders' 2016 presidential run.